is
Zaza.
Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and
Sweet as.
Whipper.
We're a podcast. We're the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Hey, guys.
My wife rang Triple O for the first time over the weekend. I've never rang Triple O myself. She witnessed a crime.
Wasn't Tom Ivy in Cubicle 3, was it?
Oh, no, that is not what
Sorry,
it was. She does have evidence, though. She took a video
Really?
of two
that?
young men running away from the scene of a crime. I've got to tell you all about it next.
Fitzy and Whipper.
Early in the morning and it's Monday. Time for fun with some wordplay. On Monday.
Yeah.
On Punday.
Punday.
On Monday.
That's right, guys. We need your movie puns. We need your movie titles tied into this story. A poor woman, my gosh. She said it was the strangest experience of my life, and it would be because she went to her own funeral. They had the casket there, guys. The eulogy was taking place, and then all of a sudden, from inside the casket.
I love this.
Hey, guys.
This is awesome. Hey, guys.
I never did that. That was in 1954.
Do you know what? You still have the wake, don't you? And she gets involved.
Yeah. Could you save a Lamington for me? I'm starving, guys. I've been in here for 3 days.
What a celebration that would be. Mm-hmm. You know what? It's one of the saddest days of your life. We've lost a family member, and then all of a sudden she's back.
What do you know? All right.
She's probably a bit dehydrated and that, but you fire up her.
Yeah,
again.
you're right. Her breath would be terrible, but throw a bit of water into her, a couple of glasses of champagne. She'd be an absolute firecracker. We want your movie titles tied into this story, guys. Who is brave enough to go first this morning?
I am so confident that mine's going to win.
Wow.
Do you want me to go last or first?
Go first, buddy.
All right,
Set
here we
the
go.
tone.
Robin Williams in Dead Postpone It Society.
Nope.
I do like that.
Yep.
That is pretty good.
I mean, we're not signing off on the victory just yet.
That is really good.
See, that's good, but I think I can up it. I don't know if you've seen the movie, great Australian film, Knockadile Dundee.
Knock it off.
Knockadile.
What's the dial, though?
Huh?
Knock a
Don't worry
dog.
about that. I've just changed crocodile to knockadile,
But
if you can
it's about
see.
someone coming
the
back
genius.
from the dead.
Yeah, but they were knocking on the coffin.
Are we focusing on the knock, are we?
Well, we can focus on anything to do with the
Do you want me
story.
to save you here?
If you wouldn't mind.
Susan Sarandon in Dead Man Talking.
Oh, Dead Man Walking, Dead Man
Thank you.
Talking.
Yes.
Right, Sarah.
But it was a woman.
Yeah.
You're very-
yes.
And she wasn't walking. She hadn't got out. I mean, if you pulled mine apart.
I really crocodile or whatever. I don't think you should give crap.
Knockadile Dundee. Thomas Bryan Ivy is the
I'm
drum
not
rolls.
really happy with mine.
Here we go.
Because I haven't had time to
seen that.
prepare. Kate Winslet classic Titanic instead of Titanic.
Get out.
Not the worst.
Get out.
Yeah,
Still
but I
better than
just-
Whippers.
Oh,
I
give me a
wanted to do
break.
something with knocking, but I couldn't think of
Well,
anything.
that's why I had to clean up your mess.
So
Knockadile Dundee.
with Rose and Jack at the end
Yeah.
on the door,
Yeah, knocking
is
on
someone knocking on the
they're knocking on the...
That's pathetic.
there's
Tom.
plenty of room on the door.
Jason in Padstow, what's your pun, Jace?
Hey, guys. I got Jack Black, School of Knock.
School of Knock.
School of Knock.
All right, Jace.
I like it.
You're in, you're on. Well done.
Katrina in Linfield, here's your drum roll, Katrina.
Morning, guys. I've got the Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. A Corpse is Born.
A corpse is born. A star is born.
Yeah.
Born, a corpse is born. Yeah, not
Still
bad.
better than Knockadile Dundee.
Yeah, Andrew in Warunga, what's your pun, Drew?
Morning, guys. The old classic Star Morgue, Return of the Dead Guy.
Oh, Star
Double.
Morgue
Star Morgue.
Double
instead
hit.
of Star Wars. That is really good, Andrew. You're leading at the moment. Laura in Camden, here's your drum roll.
A Batman classic, The Dead Knight Rising.
It's all in the delivery.
Is it? Hard.
The dead man
And
rising.
you know what? You only get one go at it, Laura.
And that was good, Laura.
You're in the running for 10k a day in May. Ellie in Quakers Hill, what's your pun, Ellie?
Hi, I've got a Madhu one, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
That's quite
And the deathly hello.
Hello. Just me, guys. I'm in here.
Michael in Drummoyne finishes off. Mick, what do you got?
To Kill a Knocking Bird.
Oh, shivers. It's really strong, Michael. Really, really strong, says. We rounded out really well with Ellie and Michael there.
I mean, do you...
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, is Bird the reference to the woman that's in the coffin?
It could be.
I don't know that you should give him that credit. I'm going to go Ellie from Quakers Hill with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hello.
Hello.
Oh, well done, Ellie.
Well done, Ellie.
In the felt like a holiday after your holiday?
Plan your getaway now and make up for missed holidays with whatif.com.
Plus, select hotels are fully refundable so you can book with confidence.
Booking cancellation windows apply. What if? It's Aussie for travel.
My beautiful wife, Belinda Fitzgerald. Do you know, over the years, I mean, she's had a couple of run-ins with locals in the Balmain area. Remember the kids that were picking up flowers and throwing them out into the street, and she chased them down?
That's right.
Got a couple of cops to catch those boys.
Great effort.
She went to Coles the other day. She busted a couple of kids in there that were
eating grapes.
They were ganking stuff. They were putting it down their pants, and she went up to them straight away. Said, "Come on, fellas, seriously?
Yeah, you're not that
I just
big."
saw you do that." And he said, "I didn't steal anything." She said, "You just put it straight down your pants." So he pulled it out slowly, put it back on the shelf, and then just gave her the finger.
Still, she's done the right thing.
So-
She doesn't mind a bit of citizen's arrest, BJ,
No.
does she?
So how's this for a story? Over the week, so Huey has to go to school on Saturdays for sport, right? And he was getting picked up in the afternoon, and she rang the other mums. She was having a bath at home, and then she goes, "Oh, I'm going to have a few drinks with the mums before we pick up the boys
Here we go.
from school."
Good idea.
Okay, and I thought, oh, well, this is a bit dangerous. And this is what they do. They meet up at a certain area and they just sit in the car and they might have a couple of guava cruises. I don't know what they're drinking, Sarah. All right, and it's just good to catch up, get all the goss from the local area, then they go pick up the boys, you come home. And so she was around the Bridgewater Hotel, you know, there, Sarah, where they have some great bands around there. Now, this was on Saturday. I don't know if you heard, but there was a huge fire at the Balmain Leagues Club on Saturday.
Yes.
Did you hear about that?
I saw that.
Actually, Tommy, can we get this up? Have we got the vision somewhere?
Huge fire.
Okay, so huge fire. And she's ringing me out of breath. Oh my gosh, just having a couple of drinks with the girls. You know, have you seen that fire? There's smoke everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. I saw the kids that did it.
Wow.
She's busted a couple more kids. Okay, so that's the fire there. But have a look at this. She's actually busted the two kids.
You're kidding me.
That started it. And she got vision. Now, you can't see too much because they're running away. So she's busted the two kids running away from the scene of the crime. They had beanies on, and they took the beanies off and started legging it at the BP at the petrol station around the corner. That's the two culprits right there.
That is amazing.
But if you look closely, that's Huey and Lenny.
Yeah, it's Huey. Yeah. Well, I didn't know where they'd gone. I thought they were bike riding.
Wow, she's got footage of the guilty.
Anyway, the Balmain Leagues Club has been an eyesore for a very long time. So it's had a fire go through it. It's out now. Everybody was okay.
Done them a favour, you reckon?
You know, it's great to see that renos have started on the place because it's a disgrace.
Thanks, kids.
So anyway, she's like, what do I do? What do I do? And I said, well, she said, do I ring 000? And I said, yeah, well, honey, you've got evidence.
Mate, you've got the guilty running into the server.
I've never rang 000 before.
Nervous about
And
it?
do you know what? It made me think I've never done it before as well. When you witness a crime, I'd be more than happy to ring the cops and give them the evidence that I had.
Yeah.
Do you know what she's disappointed with, though? She rang them, told them all about it, said she had footage. She didn't get a phone call back.
To say thanks.
But did they take the footage?
Well, no, she hasn't passed it on
She's got to go to the
anyone.
cop shop. She's got to go down to the local cops. I mean, that's a 000 situation.
Yeah, it is.
Because she's telling everybody there's a fire, there's a raging inferno. But to actually lodge the footage of those kids running away, she's got to go to the cop shop.
You can't.
She's got to continue on as a crime fighter.
You can't see the kids' faces, right? It's just behind, but you know you can
Could
see.
help.
You can see the backpack that they're wearing,
Yeah.
Sarah. I don't
Yeah.
know. There is evidence there that you
Details.
could use it. I love this though.
Do you know what? Yeah.
Like ringing 000 with evidence that you've witnessed a crime. How far did it go? If you've got a story 13, 24, 10.
I reckon BJ could be up for some sort of local award or something like that. First things first, get her a cape. She's a superhero in the area. I mean, I was drinking with a friend one night and she fell over, whacked her head on a balcony railing and then hit the ground. And she had been drinking a lot and started vomiting. So what was coming out of her mouth was red wine. I thought it was
bad.
blood. I mean, I'd had
So you rang 000
I rang
for that?
000. Man
you
down,
sure?
man down. Blood coming
Yeah.
out of the mouth, man down. Where are you? I don't know.
Oh, what a
I
pest.
don't know.
What an absolute.
Can't you trace me to where I am? And then she sort of started to come back to life a little bit, and I realised she'd just had a crisp meal, and that was it.
And so how long after that before you married, Lisa?
I'll tell you what, it's not easy kissing a girl with vomit on her breath. It's
that is so rank.
But anyway, we're happily married.
Leanne's given us a call from Cambridge Gardens. What did you call 000 for, Leanne?
Yeah, hi. I actually used to work at a fast food restaurant, quite a popular fast food restaurant.
Yep.
And we got a telephone call one late afternoon from a woman who had told us that there were some men that were on their way to the restaurant to rob us. So we called 000, and just as we were calling 000, I noticed that there were 3 suspicious men going through the drive-thru.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, the detectives were parked at the service station across the road, checked this car, searched the car, and these guys had a weapon ready to rob us.
Why would they have given you the heads up?
No. Well, obviously, she must have been, an accomplice, or she must have been a friend of Leanne, and she just must have felt really bad and rang you.
No. What actually happened was she was actually an ex-partner of one of these gentlemen, and
Knew what was going on.
Knew what was happening. So, yeah, they ended up getting them, which was a relief, I guess, for us.
How good's a sting?
Free burgers for the detectives after that, Leanne?
Oh, look, they always got a good deal at the best of times.
Yeah, well done. Well done, Leanne.
Thanks, Leanne.
Natalie from Hurstville, what crime did your mum witness?
Hey, guys. Yeah, so it was about 25 years ago. I was a 3-year-old and with my mum at the time. She noticed that the guys below us in our apartment block were actually being robbed. And so my mum called up. I'm sitting there quiet as anything. And she was describing in great detail what was happening. And so anyway, it ended up catching the guys because they stole a fair bit. And the police at the time had asked my mum to act as a witness because she had seen it all and had so much background. Anyway, she did, or she was going to, and when they found out who the witness was who jobbed them in, they ended up starting to follow her. And one day my mum was going to work, catching the train, and she noticed that these guys were following her. Now, this was, almost 30 years ago before everyone had a mobile. She had to go into the local fruit shop. She knew the guy, and she was like petrified, shaking, saying, I recognise these guys, they're following me. Anyway, it's safe to say after that, she goes, I didn't bother going through with it. I didn't give my witness statement. So, yeah, it was a bit of an...
How did they find out?
Well, they intimidated her.
No, but how did they find out that she was the witness?
Well, they said someone in the area saw them. They didn't say who, but it was a dead giveaway because my mum said they were really loud when they were moving.
Dead giveaway.
Underneath, and so, yeah, anyway, they obviously must have just kept track of her and watched her routine going to the station every morning.
Intimidation would still happen today.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they can find out.
100%.
They can find out who the witness is. That's the
Remember
thing.
the story about Johnny Whipfley coming home and he thought, oh, God, Christine's left the house in a mess. And then realised that all the cupboards are out, all the drawers are out. And then he yelled out, hey, who's there? Someone upstairs yelled out, we are! There was only one of them, so quite clever on behalf of them.
Who was it, Man Mountain?
No, not one of the boys. It wasn't our show. It wasn't the Dazzler. Wasn't Smack Daddy.
No.
It was a man upstairs with a knife.
Wow.
Do you know what was so good about this story? Was John, right, calls the police. He gets out of the house, calls the police. The police come along and they caught the guy.
Yeah.
And Dad said, look, I hope you threw him to the ground, and gave him what for. The police said, we can't do that anymore, but we helped him to the ground. And then straight after the police had taken him away, the phone calls start going. Dad's checking in. He's saying he's okay. And he goes, oh, mate, you know what? I'm starting to think why I called the police. I could have taken him. Okay, he wasn't joking. He wasn't joking. It was just, now that I know there was only one of them, would have been man on man, I could have taken him. John, what are you talking about? Of course you got to get out of there and call the police.
Tommy and I called the police on John one night. We saw him wrestling with Christine.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bit fun.
That was a crime stopper.
I thought, what's he...
Who's there? We are.
There's a murder
Hang on a
going
minute.
on here.
There was absolutely not.
Man.
That was
And then
assault
Kate
with
was born.
a friendly weapon, if
He
nothing
gave
else.
me an education.
Okay, Tom.
We want to know when you had to ring 000, you witnessed a crime and you had to give evidence. Eva in Hurstville, what crime did you see?
I was standing in my... Good morning, everyone.
Morning,
I was
Eva.
standing in my yard, and around the corner, I live on a park, around the corner came a man with a balaclava on, turned around and he was pointing a gun at me. I ran quickly inside.
Wow.
The kids called 000, and the man ran back into the park, and in a matter of seconds, we had the SWAT team circling this man in the park with his hands up and the rifle down at his feet.
Yeah.
And ended up, he was playing cops and robbers with his son, and it was a fake gun.
No, you do not put on a balaclava and point a gun around a neighbourhood.
No.
Playing with your kids.
That's exactly right.
Oh, my God.
Eva, I mean, that's an amazing game, and he was just helping his son out. But
Not funny.
Playing cops and robbers.
Your heart must have been racing, Eva.
My legs were like jelly.
Oh.
God, still recovering, Eva.
Oh, look, I talk about it, and I'm sure he talks about it too.
It's a real commitment to the game.
Well done. Lauren in Cronulla, what crime did you witness, Loz?
Hey guys. Well, one afternoon I was picking up my daughter from school and I drove out of my street and I saw a very intoxicated guy hanging over the side of his car, drinking, had his dog in the car, could not even lift his head. I asked him if he was okay. Next thing you know, he's driven off. School pickup time, there's a school around the corner. I was freaking out, going, oh my God, this guy is going to hit someone.
Yeah.
So I called the cops and said, I've got the number plate, da-da-da. And next thing you know, he's driven off around the street and had a little sleep around the street, and police are going around and around. They eventually found him. I had to give a statement, and they said, thank you so much. It turned out he lived way out west, came to the beach with his dog, had a really bad time, and decided to get on a few little, drinks and drugs, and there goes his licence for a little while.
Yeah, he wanted to drive and then pull over for another kid.
Why not? He didn't go very far. He was playing drunk driver with his kids.
Oh, Catherine in Wollstonecraft. What crime did you report, Kath?
Hi, guys. My husband and I were driving past St Leonard's Station and saw a guy touching himself very inappropriately.
Tom?
So we called the police, and I don't think they caught him, but they actually called us back later to make a statement because he'd been shoplifting in Chatswood.
Oh, no.
So they got him for
Was he
two
trying to
things.
smuggle?
He was so wrapped with his shoplifting. It's not funny. It's
so
a real crime.
It is not. So, Kath, did they got him in the end?
Yep. Yeah, I had to give a statement that went to court, and I mean, there was school kids all around, so it's just awful. Bad. We just had to call the police straight away.
Did you have to identify him, Kath?
No, I didn't have to do a line-up, thank God, and really I didn't see his face that well.
No, but you don't want to have to line up with that, do you? You don't want to.
No way. That is horrible. Tom, I mean, it's...
You don't normally go to that part of the world,
obviously
Tommy.
amateur effort by that guy. You do it in other areas where you can't be seen, do you?
I thought you took the bus, Tom.
No, thank you, guys, and thanks for being so understanding.
This is an interesting one, guys. Scientists claim to have found the optimal way to flirt in a heterosexual relationships. They have done a huge study here involving a lot of men from Norway, believe it or not, and also women in the US. And they're talking about the different things that men and women like when they're meeting and flirting for the first time. So what's really impressive at a bar? I mean, I was talking to a mate the other day, Magic Mike, who we've had on this show before. I mean, he got into magic to pick up women. And he is extraordinary at what he does. Like, he's a really great magician. But, he said
when
there was
did he become a stripper?
No, he's not.
Is that a
Different one.
different
Different Magic Mike.
Right.
But he said, the impact of him going to a bar, sitting there, having a beer by himself with a pack of cards sitting next to him was phenomenal. It's like this attraction. People would come in and the next thing you know, he's pulled a rabbit out of your bum and everyone's clapping. It was extraordinary.
Are girls into magicians, though?
Yeah.
It is appealing because he's so good.
That's the thing. He's so good. And he's a good-looking rooster too, says.
Yeah, if he were ordinary, you'd sort of go...
He's not wearing a funny hat with a pigeon up his nose.
Apollo didn't do too well in the old Bachelorette, mate.
Oh, but the Tim Tam campaign took off.
Jesus.
Shout out to Apollo if you're listening. As it turns out, it's not magic, which is the number one thing. The number one most effective flirting technique is humour. This was deemed the most effective strategy. Both genders, it says here, laughing at someone else's joke was considered advantageous, but cracking the joke yourself was perceived the most useful strategy. So even if you're on the side laughing at somebody else's one-liner, that can be a solid play as well.
So then you would say smiling is really the winner, not humour.
Smiling can be recognition or acknowledgement.
Right.
Where I think the impact of somebody who is telling a story, an animated story that might be funny, I think that might be the appealing side to it.
Without a doubt. And you know, at high school, there was always someone that was the centre of attention, who would make everybody laugh. But physically, they probably weren't gifted more than others at school.
Some people have to compensate.
But you know what? Whenever you went to a party, a house party, that person was always, at the end of the night, was lauded the most because they made everybody laugh.
And they were having a great time.
But were they pashing in the corner of the room? That's the question.
No, they were usually friend-zoned, weren't they?
Quite often.
Yeah.
The over-funny. But you know what? I'd love to know, 13, 24, 10, what was the moment in your relationship, when you started dating, what was the moment where it went from this person's okay to, hey, I really have something here?
Yeah.
What was that moment? Do you remember?
Well,
you had a crush on BJ for a long time, didn't you?
As soon as I laid eyes on her, I instantly knew I want to marry that girl. So that was a love at first sight kind of thing. But I have been in relationships before where you've got to know the person, and at the start you think you're more friends, and then there is a moment where you go, I think it's like it's similar likes as well, you know?
Yeah.
When a girl who just, you know what, we were friends for ages. We would see each other at bands. Yep. We'd go to gigs together. And then there was a moment where we sat down and we spoke about it and everything in our lives was just the same. And there was a moment where you go, oh, my gosh, she likes everything that I do.
Don't you dare try and kiss me.
And then there was this attraction. Never worked out.
I mean,
We kissed on the Buffalo Ship restaurant in Adelaide.
Go on.
I remember that. I took her up there and we were making out. We were riding
ribs?
the waves.
That sounds horrible.
Walk the plank.
Absolutely horrible.
Kind of...
Yep, plank.
No.
Says, because I organise a lot in your life, when I introduced you to Gary that day at the races, and I was quite busy on the day, so I had to nick off and leave you two, did he come out with like a knock-knock, or who's there?
No, you know what? No, because he was in a relationship, so I really was just thinking, I've been stuck with Whipper's mate again. But no,
For life.
We got along, so it was an easy chat. But I tell you what's really nice about Gary is that because so much of your life is taken over by like kids and just going to work and all this, he's actually quite a funny guy. It's probably not very complimentary to say that I'm surprised when he makes me laugh.
But he doesn't know he's being funny.
Well, I think
but
he
he's
sort of
dry.
does.
He's
So
dry.
dry. And so even now, when I start really laughing out loud, in my head I'm thinking, my God, you are actually really funny.
And unique in his own way, isn't he?
Yeah, and
That's
I
why
love
we
it.
love him.
Was there a moment, Sarah, where you just went, I'm really attracted to this guy?
Oh, yeah, we were on Whipper's couch.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
See, the
It
other
was
thing...
about 12 minutes in.
Can I ask Tommy?
Well,
Because,
don't bring up Tommy, because that was in a strip club.
no, but Tommy, you knew Inga. How long did you know Inga as friends before it became official?
Well, we were housemates.
For how long?
Oh, probably about 8 months or so, I think.
You always liked Inga, right?
Yeah,
We always knew that. But has Inga ever told you when the moment was where she goes, actually, I've got feelings for this guy?
Well, I think it took a while.
When you were peering through the bathroom window? Or was it...
Drilling the hole in the wall?
When
No?
when I bought her the plastic banana holder for her banana that she would take to work each day,
Many call them other things, yep.
that got her across the line.
Tommy,
I presented it to her as a
You
gift.
are so thoughtful.
She
gift
thought
from
you
a
were
friend.
She thought you were funny, though. Didn't you dress up in was that a Santa outfit?
Oh, yeah.
And then make horses or something with
No,
her
the horses
face on
was
them?
when you were
Yeah.
together, wasn't
Oh
it, for
my
Melbourne
gosh.
Cup?
The effort was extraordinary.
Yeah, no, I did a fake Melbourne Cup horse race with all the soft toys that we had in the house, which were promotional. I don't.
And you had,
that's funny.
a doll, and you made a head with her head on it, and you used to kiss it.
And there was a camera in it, and that sat in the bathroom too, didn't
You'd
it?
blow it up every now and then.
Yeah.
One time it farted and flew out the window.
That is not true.
Does Inga know that we all knew and that we used to bully you at team lunch to go home and tell her that you loved her?
Yeah, not at the strippers.
She might know now, but she didn't until 7:19. So big shout out this morning.
Big shout out.
Honey.
Call the show. Get in the running for the 10K in May, Inga.
Let's take one call, but 13, 24, 10, when was the moment when they won you over? Jade in Epping, you got a scoring, Jade?
Yes, as soon as I saw he could hit a golf ball, I knew he was the guy for me.
Why? Do you just love golf, Jade, do you?
I just thought he was a big finance nerd, and then when I knew he could play sport and he was actually really good at it, it just, it definitely won me over.
Jade was at the first tee, was it? One wood. Straight down the fairway. Fairway.
No, we're at the driving range. I don't know what he was using, but he would bounce it off the end of his club and then hit it, and it was just amazing. I loved it.
Do you know what? There are moments where you go, wow, they're multi-talented. That guy can do anything.
Yeah.
I love him.
Bounce it off the club and then hit it. We want to know the moment that tipped you over the line where you thought there might be something special here. Donna in Bligh Park, tell us about the moment.
Oh, the moment was, and we're going back to 1987.
Oh, beautiful.
In the Chinese restaurant at Penrith, I was on actually another date for Valentine's Day, but something with Dave just blew me away, and that was the instant, chemistry, that giddy feeling in your gut. You just know. And it's been 36 years now.
And you could feel it in your guts over a couple of pork buns.
Well, yeah, it wasn't the sweet and sour pork or the MSG that you had in your system at the time, Donna? Or?
No, I don't think so, but it did get a little bit salty.
Oh, beautiful. Was he
saucy?
Was he funny, Donna?
Yes, he was. Especially after giving me that wink, you cheeky bugger, like I was already with someone.
Yeah, right. So he flicked you a wink, and then did he come over and...
someone, and I was with Dave from that day on.
What's his best physical feature, Donna? What's on his body that you love the most?
Oh, he's cute little tushy, I would say.
Tushy, okay.
Oh, he's got a good tushy, has he?
And Donna, on the night...
Yeah, I've hardly got a tushy too, but yeah, that's definitely...
Donna, how did you flick the other guy and start making out with this one?
Well, I actually said, oh, look, I've got a phone call. Mum's just said I've got to get home nice and early. So in the meanwhile, he's giving me the wink. I pretend to go to the toilet and drop my phone number. And, yeah, from that day dot.
Great move. Just on, was it, Donna?
Great move, Donna. Hey, Donna, has he been faithful the whole time, or has his eyes wandered?
Okay, my eyes did wander, but Dave has never. Like he said, if you've had the best, forget the rest.
Oh, wow, Donna.
That's so true, darling. Like, communication and respect is everything.
Is he a good kisser, Donna?
Just to have that chemistry in your belly, you just know.
Is he a good kisser?
No, Donna's gone, mate. She's totally in love. She's totally in love.
It's a pretty simple question.
I love that call. Love it. Donna, you're in the running for 10K a day in May. I would love for her to win it.
Should she get a bottle of double chin gin? Or?
She sounded a bit like Lynn McGranger.
She did. Irene.
Maybe she won one last week.
Stephanie in Yagoona, what was the moment you realised you were the one, Steph?
Hi, guys. It was actually, we were at a party at a friend's place, or just a dinner, really, and he had his hands. I was really interested, but he had his hands on his head, and he was doing, that thing with your muscles, you flex your arm muscles, and they kind of...
Great move.
And it just... I was like, done. I need to marry you, and that was 15 years ago.
It was the bicep, Steph.
Jeez.
Yep, I still love it to this day.
It's not a bad move.
Imagine if he'd worn a long sleeve shirt and you didn't see the biceps in that moment, Steph.
That would have been...
Who knows where we'd be.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay, bicep flex.
Okay, biceps.
Gotcha.
I think what was Donna was the Chinese restaurant in Penrith,
Pork buns, yeah.
Sarah in West Ryde, what was the moment for you, Sarah?
At the bar, before the date kind of started, he said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but at some point during tonight, it's my friend's birthday, and I really need to give him a phone call."
Yeah.
And I was so gobsmacked that he picked up the phone and called his friend and said happy birthday instead of shooting him a text. And that was it.
Oh, what, you just thought it was thoughtful that he rang instead of sending a text?
Yeah, he could have just sent a text and sidebarred him, but no, gave him a nice little quick phone call, and I was just in awe.
I'm not going to say you're easily impressed, but I think I just did. I was in awe because he made a phone call. You should have seen the way he dialed, though.
It's loyalty, mate.
He pressed the button, he picked up the phone, he spoke into the handpiece. That was it.
Jacob,
and I loved him.
Jacob in Warrington, what was the moment you realised they were the one?
We were playing a game of Pictionary at uni in the cafeteria, and I drew what I thought was a pretty obscure movie reference, and she guessed it within, a couple of...
Wow.
Wow. That is... So, do you, movie-wise, music-wise, very similar to hers, Jacob?
Yeah, very similar. We actually spent a lot of that first time after that Pictionary guest just talking about all our interests, and it was
that's beautiful.
A case of saying, "Oh, me too."
Yeah.
Pictionary, is that a good idea for a first date, or is it too full on first up?
It's fun.
And if it's going well, you just write kiss me and show
Well,
them.
Jacob, did you do a little love heart at the end of that game of Pictionary, or was there a little note that you left?
Well, all of our friends actually went off to a class, and it just turned out we were the last two that didn't have a class to go to.
Wow.
So it just kind of worked out that we were left to keep talking.
And what was the movie, Jacob?
Well, she'd mentioned she really liked Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing, so I drew Jennifer Grey's curly hair, and she guessed it straight away.
That's it. Right there. That is it. Well done, Jacob.
Jacob, you're in the running as well. It would have been great at the end of the game. I was going to say, you just leave a little D&B at the end of it.
D&B with your phone number at the bottom. I've got to run after class, but I know where you're coming for dinner. You want to watch Dirty Dancing again? I'll lift you into the air.
She's going, what movie?
What is this?
What movie is that?
Is that, there's so many options. Is that a German film? Because I think I have a collection at home. I don't want to reveal too much about myself, but there's a 12-pack I bought online on the dark web.
That's not...
Everyone dies at the end.
Debbie does. No.
Twitter guys, Elon Musk obviously taking the reins there after purchasing the business. Did you know there's 69 million people on Twitter? That's the amount of users they have. How many are active would be another question. I mean, I'm on there. I never really look at it. Unless there's something breaking in the world and I need to get, like, second-by-second updates.
Well, I love Twitter for the fact that it is breaking news first. And you look at Ukraine, or everything comes from Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything, if you want to get something out there, and this is where Russia has been pretty upset because they tried to take out all the, Wi-Fi and broadband and everything over there, and that's when Elon Musk jumped on board and said, well, I'll send you the satellites and you can all get your Wi-Fi and then you can show us what's actually happening in the Ukraine and the whole world can see what Russia's doing.
It's a clever idea. I mean, you're on it a fair bit. Do you see ads on Twitter?
Yeah, sometimes. But, yeah, I just mute. If
Right.
there's something there, I go, I'm not following that. What am I doing? And I'll just mute that.
Is that how they do it?
Yeah, and then you just mute all those ones. It's the same with Instagram at the moment as well.
Man, how many suggested posts are being served on the gram at the moment?
But isn't that because that's a TikTok thing? Isn't it?
No.
No, but isn't it? It's if you like this person, we suggest that you like that person.
Yeah.
And a lot more videos. Like, first of all, it was suggested posts. Now it's a lot of suggested videos.
Yes. Really?
Yeah, I find I'm like, hang on, I don't know who these people are. What's this?
That's the thing. You get lost in it going, why am I looking at that person?
Yeah.
I don't want to see that person. Elon, he's got a couple of wild ideas. He said, what about this? He wants to cut back on the advertising on Twitter. He says, let's make it more of a user-based scheme instead of advertising, and that's where we'll make our money. So he wants to now charge $3 a month for Twitter users. That's what's going to cost you to be on Twitter.
People won't do it.
Do you know what? For someone like me who would be in the statistic of 69 million and I never use it, I'm not going to pay $3 a month. So let's say you would lose half?
I don't know about
What do you
half. I don't know about half.
I mean, you say 69 million, how many are active? And then, how many would pay $3 a month?
Yes.
Would you?
I probably would.
Yeah, you.
$3 a month isn't much.
You would if you're a user.
Not even a
What
coffee.
are you talking, $36 a year?
No, big deal.
That's fine.
Big deal. So that's how he sort of sees them making more money. He's got a couple of other wild ideas too. You'll be able to pay in crypto, guys. So make sure you top up your Doge account. He's a big one for that. So the ads are going to be dropping. They made $5 billion last year. He reckons they can bring in $26 billion a year.
Wow.
Just massive numbers.
The big one is, I like Twitter, but there are, and don't get me wrong, I have a bit of a laugh at some of the responses that I get. But if he lets Trump back onto Twitter, I must admit that was an era on Twitter that I did not enjoy at all.
Right.
Because you bring out the loonies and there's a lot of hate.
Yeah.
A lot of hate.
Well,
and
the
don't
bullying
get
that
me
goes on
wrong,
too.
I like to fire them up sometimes when Trump was in charge. But you know what? They are ruthless.
Here's his other plan. Based on this being more of a user payment system instead of the advertising, he will get rid of 1,000 people that work at Twitter. And he has also said, let's turn the headquarters in San Francisco into a homeless shelter.
Oh, that's nice.
Man, he does everything, this guy. It's just wild.
He does come up with these wild things, though, but whether he's going to do them or not, this is the
But
thing.
it seems like he carries through with a lot of it. Remember when he said, I don't know why I own all this property. I don't want any of this property. And went and sold all the houses.
Yeah, but with all these wild ideas, tell me the big things that he's done.
Space.
The electric car, he's done the space,
Yep.
right? And we hear about
PayPal.
this tunnel that he's doing through LA at the moment where it's like a vacuum. You just put your car down there and it goes... And then you end up the other end.
Is he working on that?
Yeah, this is apparently digging this
no
tunnel.
dice. As if you're going, I'll be the first to try that.
Oh, no, says it's good. Is this the hyperlink?
No, yeah,
It's very Jetsons.
Apart from the electric vehicle and the space,
Are you suggesting he hasn't done anything?
What else has he done? Tell me. No, that's amazing.
He doesn't need to do anything
You were just
else.
saying he was going to turn this into a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
I'll see it when I believe it.
Mate,
That
this
feels
would
much
be
more achievable than the vacuum.
far more easy than sending a rocket that can land by itself into space and come back down.
Yep.
How dare you challenge Elon Musk to turn a building into a homeless shelter?
Yeah, but he does.
Do you know how to do that?
But he doesn't do it.
Get everybody out of the building and let the homeless come in. Fitzy's impressed. Finally, you've done something that's impressed Fitzy.
Yeah,
Your
that
space
is-
stuff, electric cars.
Space has been done. Space has been done.
Not like this. Not like this.
He wasn't the first to do
yes,
it.
he
Branson
was.
was.
He was the first to create a rocket, his BFR, you can work out what that stands for, to be able to go up to space and then come back and land in a specific point via remote control unmanned.
So what did Branson do?
Well, he's taken spaceships into space. Right? So
That's
nobody
the same
has...
thing.
No, it's not. He's been able to make a rocket return unmanned to a location and land the rocket successfully.
With people in it.
With no people in it.
Well,
no people in it.
Whoa. We've been up into space before with no people in it.
And then
create satellites.
Create a rocket. You'd show me where a satellite's landed back to Earth unmanned, right? It just doesn't happen. And then he's been able to build one of these rockets that goes up there. The front opens and a Tesla car, floats out into space.
What's that got to do with
Well, no one else has done that. I'm trying to impress you because you think the homeless shelter's impressive. No, that lives in space,
So
says.
the car's just floating.
And there's a guy in it, and there's a sticker on the back of the car that says built by humans.
So he wants to help homeless people, but he's just getting rid of brand new cars into space. What a loser.
I will give him the direct feedback. Tommy, if you could email Elon the grab from this morning.
I'll tweet him right now.
Fitzy not impressed with anything that he's done.
The Fitzy and Whipper Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.